Hello, I'm Ian Cracknell, Advocacy Officer at Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust. As you can see, I'm in my garden, which so many of us have been spending much more of our time over recent weeks. If you don't have a garden, you've probably also been making more visits to your local park or nature reserves, perhaps doing some DIY. Access to green spaces and wildlife has never been so important for our well-being and mental health, but our wildlife is critically threatened. Species are declining at threat from habitat loss, agriculture and development, and climate change is adding even more pressure to these stresses. You can help us challenge these threats to our wildlife both locally and nationally by joining Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust and supporting our campaigns, including Saving Smithy Wood, an ancient bluebell woodland, previously at threat from a proposal to build a motorway service station. The application for the service station has now been withdrawn, but the land is still at threat from development. Our other campaigns include Sheffield Street Trees, working with partners to call for a new strategy to manage and look after our street trees. Our Chief Executive, Liz Ballard, has chaired a partnership working group which has produced a draft working strategy now adopted by Sheffield City Council. Our moors, calling for an end to wildlife crime, raptor persecution and intensive land management on our moorlands. And Wilder Future, our campaign to influence the UK's new Environment Bill, calling for strong legislation to address the problems causing species declines and habitat loss. Hundreds of you have contacted your MPs asking them to support the Environment Bill and call for the inclusion of nature recovery networks to make bigger and better green corridors for our wildlife across the UK. These are some of the most critical actions we've got to take to turn around the fortunes of our declining species. Our wildlife urgently needs a wilder future, and so do we. So we're keeping up the pressure to see a nature recovery network enshrined in law, and in the coming weeks we'll ask what you can do to help us by taking action and speaking up for wildlife. By making a commitment to play your part, you can help us to create nature recovery networks and demonstrate how this can work on the ground. Now obviously, the current situation is pretty dire, but in the social distancing and isolation that we're all going through, there's arguably no better time to get involved and to aid nature's recovery. One thing you can do right now is to sign up for our Action for Insects campaign. Insects are currently dying at up to 8 times faster than larger animals, and worryingly 41% of all insect species currently face extinction. Now you might not be a bug lover, but you should be, because this is a really worrying concern for us as well as our wildlife. Insects pollinate 3/4 of our food crops, and as well as being the main food source for many birds, small mammals and fish. Loss of habitat and overuse of pesticides are 2 of the major causes of this looming catastrophe. However, the good news is it's not too late to act. We're calling on you to make a pledge to take action for insects. You can do this on our website at wildsheffield.com/AFI. When you sign up, we'll send you a free downloadable guide of things that you can do in your home garden. Just adding a window box, some new pollinator-friendly plants, a small pond, or just letting some areas grow and be a little less tidy than your garden would normally be. These will make a big difference in attracting and sustaining wildlife in your garden. Just a few of us on each of our streets add a window box or bee-friendly plants, bug hotels, a small pond to bring in the wildlife. These resources can make a huge difference to improve wildlife habitats in our local area. So please do encourage your neighbours, friends and family to sign up too. You might have always meant to do some of these things in your garden, but somehow you never find the time. I think we can all agree there's never been a better time to do this. I'm going to put in a pond in our garden this week. So come on, let's do this. Visit our website wildsheffield.com/AFI and make a pledge to take action for insects. Let's get our gardens buzzing and thriving again with all the wildlife that so urgently needs our help. And is so crucially important for our health too. Thank you.